Yes, what's happening, people? We're here for another episode of Let the Punk Talk, as always, joined from Carl from Boxing Royalty and my very special guest, one and only professional boxer, Tommy Murphy. So, Tommy, I've known you for a long time back in State of Mind, and I know that you actually started boxing really young. How old was you when you started?
I went into the gym with Dad around 10 years old, but then I just didn't like it. I didn't like it. Took some time out, tried other things, and then I went back around 16, 17. And then I was doing it for a little bit, broke my wrist, I was out again. And then I went back and I just stuck at it when I think I was just before my 18th birthday. I think I went back and stuck at it because I got introduced to Mick Delaney down Del Youth, and then that was that. Stuck at it and carried on. Here I am.
And how old was you when you had the first fight? 18 as well?
I think it was just before my 18th birthday, March the 5th. I'm not sure what year. I have to go look. I looked at it. It come up on my thing the other day, 5 years ago.
Okay. So how did it feel after 8 years in and out of boxing to finally have your first amateur fight?
It was good to have the first amateur fight. It was like in my career, I know I've had a short career so far, but the amount of stop starts and things holding me back is a joke. Like, think, is it worth all this stress? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but to finally have it, and then I kicked on. I had 2 fights in the space of 2 weeks, so it was a good feeling.
Yeah, you obviously mentioned there, like, is it worth it? I really don't think people see like what boxers actually put their bodies through and what they go through during build-ups to camps and things. Like, people will never, unless I say it to everyone all the time, unless you actually do it for yourself, you'll never understand how hard it actually is to be a boxer at any level.
Yeah.
So, you didn't have many amateur fights, but you had quite a lot of experience. So obviously you fought abroad. You fought for a title as well. What title was it you won?
It was something to do with London versus Ireland or something, and they belt at the end of it. I didn't know there was a belt involved until I got to the hotel that I boxed in Mayfair. So I couldn't even tell you the name of it, to be honest.
Yeah. Fair. How many amateur fights did you actually have?
No pictures with it around my waist.
Yeah. No naked ones though.
I think about 15 amateur fights and lost 3. You know, 2 of them I can strongly protest that I did not lose, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Not many people get to actually fight abroad. Like, what was the whole experience like?
It was all right. I've obviously my dad's side of the family's Irish, so it was good to go to Ireland and box in Ireland. My grand show, it was a good feeling. I had a few family members come. It was weird. Like I thought with this name Murphy going to Ireland and being English, but I assumed everyone my fat friend over there. But
yeah,
good. The only thing I didn't like is the decision. Everyone in the place what I won.
Yeah.
Raised.
Yeah, it's one of them things, mate. It's one of them really bad things in boxing. But so after only a very short career, why did you feel like it was the right time to turn pro?
I'll be honest, I didn't want to go pro. Mick Delaney, my coach, legend in the sport, I heard he had a surgery. I'm not sure the ins and outs, the details, but a few people said he wasn't coming back to coach, and I knew he would never go pro because he had the opportunity to take George Groves and the likes of the big fighters from Del Youth, and he didn't do it. So I knew he was never going pro, and I just said I won't do amateur boxing without him. I could have went to so many different clubs, but Mick started me. Mick took me here, there, and everywhere, and it's just, I think on my side it was just I was too loyal to Mick. I wouldn't go with no one else, so I went pro.
Oh, fair enough. You've been around quite a lot of influential people in boxing. Who would you say is the most if I can need to say this word right, influential person you've been around in boxing?
There's probably a few names to mention, but obviously the 2 that stand out and have done and said and advised me the best way is obviously my coach and manager, Alec Wilkie, at the moment. Done a lot. made me see the game. I thought I could just come in, bowl people over, this and that, be a young fashion. Al showed me the way forward and how things run. And then the other is Barry O'Connell. Obviously, you know Barry yourself.
Yeah.
Put me in contact with Al, and Barry's been there for me for years. If I didn't know what to do, or like, if I needed advice, I could go to Barry. If my dad weren't available, Barry was sort of second in command. Barry's done a lot for me. Sponsored me for my first fight, the State of Mind, and yeah, them they're two of the most influential people I think I've been around.
I'm shocked you didn't. I thought you was going to say John O'Donnell.
Oh yeah, forgot about John. Yeah, John influenced me, and I know people say, "Oh, lick ass this and that," but the only reason I'm a southpaw is because of John O'Donnell. I'm a right-hander, but just growing up watching John fight for the Commonwealth title and British title in York Hall and Wembley, and I was around him so much. I think like I turned into him because I did have a similar style to him until I met the likes of Mick Delaney and Alec Wilkie, who quickly told me and showed me that having my right hand down, I will get caught. And I know that because Al's belted me a few times.
Yeah, John O'Donnell's a living legend, mate. So you touched on State of Mind. Why didn't you actually fight under Barry O'Connell in State of Mind?
I went to Barry, and there was some stuff going on, stuff I can't speak on, but it just weren't the right time for him to. Like he had loads of fighters. It is, you know how many fighters back coaching down there. It was busy, and it's such a small gym. Obviously, he's side of the gym going too, so I just don't think it was the right fit. And then I went to a few other coaches. Nothing really stuck. And then I went to Al, and I just liked it, and that was that.
Yeah, because I know you was down at the Churchill gym for a while. What was it like down there? I've been down there a couple times for sparring, and I really like Sam and his son Harry. And obviously, you was around Prince Patel. What was that like to train down there for a little bit?
Sam's a good guy, man. He took me in. Actually, it was Ellie Scotney who got me down there. I was training down there, and then I wanted to go pro. I said it to Sam, and Sam said, "Yeah, why not? We'll give it a go." And Sam took on again. Had loads of fighters. I think he's got like 6, 7 female fighters. He's got Prince Patel, Chev Clark. He was busy, and I weren't getting the attention I felt I needed, like to start my career. And he said the same thing, and we just mutually agreed. And then that was that. But it was a good atmosphere down there. I liked it. I met some good people down there, some good friends.
Yeah, like it's a really nice gym.
Prince Patel, that's the first. At first, I thought me and Prince was going to butt heads because like on cameras, but he's actually a nice guy, and he's given me a game because as silly as he looks, he is quite intellectual and smart when it comes to the boxing business. I think.
Yeah, I know Prince very well. Like as you said, he gets a lot of hate, but if you actually meet him in person, he's actually a really nice guy. I've got a lot of time for Prince.
He is a nice guy, and he really does know his manager, like his side of the box. And I said to him, I think he's a good manager. You pack up.
Do you reckon he'll go into it when he's finished?
I think he will, because look what he's done for himself. Like he single-handedly got himself into, I don't know if it's top 5 or top 10, but got himself up there, and I think he is on for a world title fight.
Is he the guy out Sonny Edwards? He keeps asking to fight him.
I think Prince has called out everyone you can think of.
But surely Sonny, like, I don't know Prince, but I think Sonny Edwards is world class. I don't think he's got any chance now, to say, considering I ain't seen Prince fight. But what's your view on that, Tommy?
Sonny is a great fighter. At early days of his career, I thought, he's just only wary of Charlie. But as the careers have gone on, I think he's like took Charlie like by storm. And I don't know, like you say, styles makes fights. I've watched Prince spar, and he has got a weird style. Prince, like I can't even explain how he fights. It's just weird. But you never know. People can have good nights. People can have bad nights. Obviously, Sonny is a favourite, but I wouldn't write Prince off. I wouldn't write against Sonny, because you see, he's always down. If he gets clear, like he did against that Marcel know he was up straight away, but yeah, always the chance.
Yeah, and Prince is a good boxer, like amateur and professional. He won a lot, so you never know. It would be great to see that fight happen, because they've got mad beef. They've had mad beef for a long, long time. But anyway, moving on. So I know that you signed with Goodwin, didn't you, at first? But I know you're not with Goodwin now. What happened there?
I signed with Goodwin. He had me a fight date, and then I had a problem with the.
Hello, you still there?
Yeah, someone rang my phone.
No.
Yeah, I was with Goodwin, and then I had a problem with the board, and I wasn't getting nowhere. I had a problem with my medical. One of my medical, basically my medical. I passed everything, and then I had a problem with my hand from years back. My GP was being a bit iffy about it. Nothing was going my way, and then Al started coaching me. Al rang Steve and was trying to sort things out. I think Steve just said, if you want to manage him, I know you like managing your fighters. If you want to manage him, you can manage him. Al said, yeah. And then within a week, my contract was sorted. And Al rang up a few people and got my medical sorted. And then I was out within 2 months. So,
fair enough.
No bad blood there, but you just
out. Oh, fair enough. That's fair enough, mate. So obviously, I know you're quite well known around Grove, and you're a massive ticket seller. What was that atmosphere like on your debut?
Oh, mate, I thought it was going to be loud. My dad said to me, building up to it, once you come out of the curtain or come out onto the stage and people see you, it's going to be a whole feeling. And I thought, yeah, right, I'm cool as a kid. You know what I mean? I thought I'm like quite confident in myself. But when I walked out onto the stage and everyone started screaming, and then I walked to the ring and everyone was singing my name and the QPR song and all that, I was walking to the ring and I thought, if I get done in front of 270, I'm going to be fuming. Obviously, ring cross and got going. I felt I got better and better as the fight went on, but it was loud. But like you say, you know yourself, sometimes you don't even hear nothing. I don't remember anything from the fight. Like, I can tell you anything that I did unless I watch the video back. I don't remember a thing. I don't remember nothing Al was telling me in the corner. I just can't remember a thing.
Oh, really? Fucking hell, that's a bit mad. So you might not be able to answer it then, but I was going to say, what was it like fighting Lee Devine? Because he's quite an experienced journeyman.
Watching the YouTube back on the grassroots, I thought I could have done much better. I know that is not that said to me. If that, I think nerves was just getting to me, but I think I just wanted to look good and make sure I was known as known as that he can box. He's got something about him, and also he sells tickets. But watching the video, I don't know if it's just me reading too much, but I think Lee come and give it a go more than he normally does. Because obviously I look at him before the fight, and he was just moving around. People were throwing punches at him. But when you watch the fight I had with him, he was throwing quite a few punches. He caught me a few times, and yeah, that's going to happen. But I felt like he gave it more of a than anyone else. I don't know if that's because I had so many fans and they were booing him. But yeah, I didn't. I thought I was all right. I got caught with a few silly shots. It's It's getting used to such a strong on the inside. In sparring, I'm used to pushing people out the way. I couldn't really do that with him. So, like I say, it's learning on a job, and the more I get on, I'll get used to these type of strong men because he's a great compared to me. He's got a good few years on me.
Yeah, 100%. And he's very experienced in the game, very well respected journeyman. So it's quite a tough one for the debut. But I watched your fight on YouTube, mate. You did really well. You should be really proud. But obviously, you've got your second fight coming up soon. I think on the 30th of September. It's quite a big card. How do you feel to be a part of such a big card for small hall boxing?
It's good because last time I did more tickets than nearly everyone. So they say. So I was put to the back. I would have been literally second to last. It wasn't main event. So I think this time there's a few other ticket sellers, a few more good fights. So I think I'll be a bit earlier. To me, last time I was sitting from about 5 o'clock till 9 with my gloves on, and I just didn't like. Kept getting cold. So this time I'm looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to just getting out the ring and watching a bit of boxing, because there is a few good fights on. Like you say, there is pretty good fights.
Yeah, the Jordan Perkish and Ryan Walker one is the one I think I'm looking most forward to. Who do you think takes that one?
I've not watched a lot of Jordan, but I've seen people put him up that he's the next best thing. I've seen Lee rate quite highly, and Ryan. I've known Ryan for years. He was on my last show, and he got a stoppage in the last show. And it seems to look like he gained a lot of confidence, and he has been getting better with the new team. He's with. So I'm not sure. Like, if I had to go off anything, I'd say Brian, just because I know what he's about. I've never seen Jordan, but you never know. I'm one of them. If you told me who's going to win, I can tell you. Out of any, you never know. Apart from Josh, but
Yeah, like I obviously I know Jordan very well, and I don't necessarily know Ryan well, but obviously fought on the same shows as him, been managed by Steven, so on and so forth. Like, there's no disrespect to Ryan. I don't even mean this in like a malicious way, but his boxing style is quite ugly, but it does work. Like, it is effective. But where Jordan's a very technical boxer, and he accomplished a lot as an amateur in like only not a lot of fights. I think he had like 25 fights, but he won like 6 or 8 tournaments or something. They were all like tournament fights. So he's obviously fought at a very high level as an amateur. And I just think that his technical ability will get him through. But Ryan's obviously a very experienced pro and shared the ring with people like Lee McGregor, Paul Butler. So it is a great 50-50 fight. And obviously Ryan's got the weight advantage, but I think I'll go with Jordan on that one. But Carl, what about you? What do you think?
I think, again, I'm not too clued up on Ryan Walker. One thing I will say about Jordan is that I've never known someone to train as hard. He is constantly in the gym. He comes to fight, he has a week off, and he's back in the gym. For a fact, from speaking with Jordan, he's been in the gym for probably 3 weeks already. And what are we? We're how many weeks out from your fight date, Tommy?
I think it's 7 and a couple of days. I'm not sure.
So yeah, he's probably been in the gym. And look, I think Jordan's he's a very good boxer. Like Jack said, he's very technical. You know, he comes in low with a jab and he's so quick to come round. I would like to see Jordan do it. You know, I see the face off the other day and Ryan was in his face shouting, "You're scared," and this, that, and the other. The thing is, Jordan's right in what he said to Ryan. You know, he said, "You're mad for fighting me now." He says, "You're 15 fights in." Jordan said, "When I'm 15 fights in, I want to be at European level." He said, "So there is absolutely no pressure on me in the fight. I'm 4-0. So look, I like Jordan. I like Will Jones, his trainer, a lot. I like them all down that gym. And no disrespect to Ryan, but you know, me and Jack will be there. And I do hope Jordan comes away with that strap. Yeah. So hopefully Jordan gets it.
And what are the other 2 fights? I know it's Conor Mason, and who's he fighting?
Marsden, and he's fighting Martin McDonough, a good friend of mine, Martin, and all the boys down there, Rumble. And then there's Billy Allerton. I don't want to slaughter his second name, but Lucas Bagnall.
Banningle.
Yeah, that's the one. What are your thoughts on them 2 fights?
Like I said, I watched Marsden. Obviously, he beat my friend from me, and he got the game plan right on the night that time. So I'm sure they will come up with a game plan for Martin. But at the same time, I think Billy and Martin will come up with a good game plan for Conor, because Billy, I know he's not been in the pro game a lot and he ain't won title fighters yet, but like just speaking to him in person and knowing him, he's very strategical and he takes things super serious.
Yeah, mate. Oh, sorry. Your speaker's gone a little bit there, Tommy.
Keeps trying to call me. But Billy takes the minor details and blows them up. So I'm sure Billy will have a good game plan going into it. But Allerton beats Alec. I've not seen much of Alec, but Alec beat Jamie Robinson twice, and that's a hard fight. So yeah.
Yeah, that Mason, like, I watched this fight against Boy Jones Jr. and that was one of the best fights I've ever seen live. I was so grateful I got to witness that. And the thing is with him, he can be outboxed, but he's a proper workhorse. So once it gets past the 6 rounds, he'll be on your chest for that, it'd be on your chest for them 6 rounds. And if you can't keep up with the pace, he'll probably punish you and put you away. But if you've got an engine, you can box. You could probably beat him on points. But yeah, he's been really entertaining to watch ever since I've been following his career since then. He's been very entertaining to watch. So I hope he wins on that night. And Billy Allington is he's come on leaps and bounds. Obviously, I see him watch him fight Jamie Robinson the first time, and I thought Jamie Robinson won the first time. I thought he was really unlucky to get a draw, and then he obviously fought our friend Jamani, and it was obviously it only went 5 rounds, didn't it? It got stopped on a cut, but he won that, and that was his breakthrough moment, being the Southern Area champion. And then he got the rematch with Jamie Robinson, and I genuinely thought that Jamie was going to do him, and I was so impressed with the way he boxed. And I just think, his last 2 fights, Southern Area and then English, and beaten 2 credible opponents. I just think he's on absolute fire at the moment, and I think he's going to do the job, and he'll probably be next in line for a British after that. But yeah, Carl, what do you think?
I can't really comment on the Conor Marsden fight. And I don't mean to sound like a prick here, I've only seen him fight once, and that was when he fought Adam Azim. So to comment on that would be wrong. The main event, obviously, I know both guys. I know Billy well. But Billy sells tickets. I've said this before. Billy will probably take 400 people there on the night. He's from Egham, which is about 20 minutes from me. And I remember going to Bracknell Leisure Centre to watch him. And like when you go into these leisure centres, you got it's just a long corridor type thing, isn't it? And mate, there was hundreds of them there, and he weren't fighting for 4 hours. And like Jack said, I thought the first fight was close, and the second fight, I think everyone I spoke to about it, I was the only one who said Billy would win. And obviously, I speak to Denzel, who trains with Billy, and he's just coming on. I think if he wins this, he does deserve a British shot. I think because he's come through, like you just said, Jack, the Jamie Robinson fight. That's his name, isn't it? Jamie Robinson. Yeah, he come through that, and again face was smashed to pieces for the whole fight, and just boxed beautifully. So Lucas is a tough fight, mate. Lucas is out in Dallas at the moment with Mikey McKinson. I think a lot of people are saying he's going to win just for that fact that he's Michael McKinson's brother. He's obviously nowhere near that ability, but I fancy Billy. And like I said, I can't comment on the other fight because I don't know shit about it.
Fair enough, mate. But yeah, that's literally all from me. I just want to say good luck, Tommy, for the September, and I'll be getting tickets with you soon. Me, Carl, and Terry are going, but I think Carl knows someone else on the car. But me and Terry will get tickets off you, mate. And yeah, I'll pass you over to Carl. Carl, take the stage, mate.
Yeah, mate. I think there might be a few coming from your fight, Jack, coming to that night. But the thing for me is obviously you've got Jordan fighting, Joe Giles, another friend of mine. So I've just said to whoever comes, say there's 9 of us. I'm just going to say, look, 2 to you, Tommy, 2 to Joe, 2 to Jordan. Because otherwise, it's the same thing with Jack's next fight. I might not be there, but him and Newham are fighting. Yeah. And it's now we know we can say it's Jack's last fight. So whether I'm there or not, I will be buying my ticket from Jack, the punk kid, and also my friends will. But that's only because it's his last fight. But listen, talking about tickets, Tommy, you've got something that not a lot of people have got. And you've got your old man. He literally pushes the life out of everything for you. How grateful are you for that?
Oh, mate, I couldn't wish for anyone better in my corner. My dad literally does everything from sorting out the kit, sorting out posters, to he's even created raffles for tickets and everything. He's looking at the things he does. It's so strange, not strange, but it's so clever the way he knows what he's doing and does these little extra things that work and just get you an extra ticket sale. He's got me so many sponsors that have helped me out, and quite good sponsors, not just a couple here and there. Quite helpful. And without him, I don't think I would have sold as many tickets as I did last time. It does take a toll on him because I don't know. Obviously, if you guys at the show, he was quite stressed, but once I was in the ring, it was the first time he seen me boxing, God knows how many years. So he said, once he see I was doing all right, he sort of calmed down a little bit. I think Fancy had sort of helped him out as well. But yeah, he was a major, major help for me. Even Alec said, like, your dad's unbelievable, like that sort of stuff.
It reminds me a lot of like Big John with his son Johnny Fisher. You know, I spoke to your dad about when he just said, Cole, just watch my boy. He said, my boy's turning over. He says, what can you do? You know, we've done a bit of work, and I've just never met someone so passionate. You know, I can imagine what he was like, because I've seen Terry does a lot for Jack in terms of tickets and stuff. And I've seen the stress that she's under the day before the fights. And if you're telling me you had fucking 270 people there, I'd be left as well, mate. I'd just scatter them on the pavement outside and let the tramp that comes up and always nicks my fags out.
I think Dad talked to Big John Fisher quite a bit.
Yeah.
Dad's become friends with him, boxing friends. And I think on the day of the fight, I think I stayed at my dad's house that night, and I left at 12 o'clock. I remember he rang me. Well, one of my coaches rang him to tell him there's been a problem because one of the fights got messed up and I was getting moved forward and back. But he said he sold 50 tickets, or he sold something like 25 tickets or 50 tickets. I can't remember, on the day of the fight. So my ticket money was already in. So he come to York Hall with more ticket money, and like, he's just everywhere he goes, he just knows what he's doing. It's strange. Obviously, he did a lot before John O'Donnell. John O'Donnell was fighting, so it made sense, and it made sense for him to do it for me. Yeah, he loves it really because it helps him take his mind off other stuff. But I just think he does. He works his mind too much. He's always thinking.
I remember because I said to Jack about it. Like, obviously, when your fight was announced and that, and I was speaking to your dad, I remember saying to Jack one day, I was like, "Fucking Tommy Murphy is doing serious tickets, serious numbers, serious sponsors." And Jack, your vouch for me, your words were, his dad knows so many people.
Yeah.
And it's good because, you know, you see a lot of fighters like Jack. We could even take your before the Commy fight. There was nobody helping you. Do you know what I mean? You had trainers that didn't care. You didn't have sponsors. Do you know what I mean? So Jack's had the luxury of now his last two fights, obviously having a lot of people backing him. But I still speak to fighters now. I had a fighter message me yesterday. I'm not going to mention no names, and he just said, "Cole, I'm fighting in 7 weeks' time. I have no sponsor. My trainers, how much for shirts?" I just said, "Look, mate, just send me the cost of the shirts at £5." I said, "I'll do them." He's not done no tickets or nothing. He spent all his money on his tickets to fight. He's done about 12 tickets for his professional third fight, I think it is. So if you've not got, that's why I do the social media bits, because I don't know how much they do, but they must help people. Do you know what I mean? But another person you mentioned there, Tommy, was Ellie Scottney. You say are you friends with her?
Yeah, I don't know how me and Ellie become friends, but we boxing and we talk now and then. Quite busy doing big things. So sometimes we sit down, and she's also guided me right things to do and that. But yeah, got a lot of time for Ellie.
I genuinely believe she boxed a few weeks back, didn't she? Boxed. I don't know why I'm calling my words here. I think she's the next big thing in women's boxing. I really do. Have you seen her, Jack?
No, I don't think I've ever. Is she the Dave Allen gal?
No, that's Stevie Levi. Ellie Scottney fights under Eddie Hearn.
Did she spar Ticey?
No, that's Stevie Levi.
Oh, yeah, no, I've never seen her.
She's brilliant.
Ellie's with Shane McGuigan as a coach. She was with down the boxing booth gym, and then with him.
Oh, okay, fair.
Mate, I rate her highly. I really do. And Tommy, one thing you and Jack have got in common, I only know 3 of you, is that you're both QPR fans. You had messages come through from the players and the club. How was that?
Yeah, it was strange just sitting there and you see messages coming up, and you go on your Instagram DMs and you're thinking, oh, someone posted that, and you see a blue tick. So, I know to some people they ain't that big of football players. Obviously, they play in the championship and that, but to me, like watching them, they like week in and week out, it's like, oh, like it's nice to see. Gives you that little boost. Obviously, I had a few messages from some our present players, some former players. Yeah, we see people taking the time out of their days to wish luck.
Yeah, I remember seeing the one from Adoma, who's quite a big player at QPR, isn't he? So the other thing I want to talk to you about, Tommy, is you mentioned your ring walk. Me and you was talking music, and that fucking song you was absolutely awful. What was it called?
I think it was a song from a film. Me and my brother McVicar it's a film. Me and my dad and my brother. It's one of our favorite films. And yeah, no, song. I don't know if about you, Carl, but I think Jack knows where my brother always is. Then that's why I like that song. But yeah, no, I did. That's what I was saying to you. I might just let someone pick. I really can't pick. But like you said, if someone picks a song and I don't get up for it, then yeah,
No,
Yeah.
mate, you can't stand at the top and not be up for it. Like there's 2 ring walks in boxing, 3 that I sit back at and I get pumped at, and that's Dillian White's, Mark Little, and this man here, mate. Bad motherfucker the other night. I've got videos on my phone from it. Jack, how important is a ring walk song?
Yeah, I was literally just about to say it's actually so important. Like, people, honestly, fuck the crowd. Yeah, it's not when you're walking into the ring. It's not about getting the crowd hyped up. It's about getting you hyped up. It's about what hypes you up and gets you ready to fight. Like, just when as soon as your ring walk starts and you get in the ring and start fighting, the people outside the ring mean nothing for however long you're fighting for. So, but obviously, quite luckily, my ring walk amongst my fans has become quite iconic now. Like, when everyone thinks, "Oh, Jack's come in," everyone gets ready for. I was going to say, "Let the punk talk." Everyone gets ready for "Bad Motherfucker," and then when I walk out, everyone starts singing it. You know, everyone gets up for Machine Gun Kelly. So I got quite lucky in that perspective. But yeah, when it comes to ring walks, man, it's all about yourself.
And I can honestly tell you, when this geezer showed me Machine Gun Kelly, like, this is shit. And honestly, between the first and the second fight with Paul Roberts, every time it come up on my Apple Music, I just send him a screenshot. It's such a, and I agree with Jack. You know, like I said, I used to play darts, Tommy, and I've walked onto some songs and I've got up on stage and I just don't feel it at all. I ended up my Surrey career and my pro career walking onto Spice Girls, Who Do You Think You Are? Because I'd walk on the stage and the geezer would be looking at me and he'd be hearing, Who Do You Think You Are? And that was just something that clicked for me. You know, I walked onto so many different songs. So take some time, think about it, because like Jack says, you need that song to do something in your mind to make you go, I'm literally ready to fuck this person up.
Yeah.
You know, you can't walk out to, I don't know, Donald Dunk, whatever it is, I don't know, whatever song. It needs to be something to you personal, I think. So we're going to work on a ring walk for Tommy Murphy and we're going to announce on this podcast when it happens, I reckon.
The first time you Show Me Love is just because it's an old song. I knew I was going to have so many people there, old, young, and whatever age. And I thought there's a song everyone knows and everyone can sing along to. But I don't really think I heard the song anyway. So no one heard the song in the arena anyway. So
I see some of the videos, obviously, the day after your story had about 600 different things on it. And I just remember seeing you on the stage, and it was good. I'll give you that. You know, the ring walk was class, and that's a song that everyone knows. Nobody can say it's a bad song. So, but listen, like you say, you've got to do what's right for you. But listen, the last thing I want to speak about is, obviously, I'm guessing you've seen it. The man in the middle has made a little announcement recently. Do you agree with what he's done? Do you think it's the right thing?
I said it to him the other day. I think he deserves to push on for a bigger title and get a telly fight, because after everything he's been through, he deserves it. But at the end of the day, in that little video, he said he don't feel like he's in the right place when he's training no more. So I think it's fair enough that he wants to call it a day. Like, I know I've not had mega fights. I've had one pro fight, but there's times you think, do I really want to do it? Do I really get up and do it? So if he's not mentally happy, then I think it is the right call to call it a day, because like you said, you can go in the ring not feeling 100% and you can get done, and in a fight you don't even think. There's throughout the years there's so many fighters that should be beating people and then they get turned over probably because they ain't in the right mind frame. So I think if that's how Jack feels, then 100% it's the right thing for him to do.
I agree, and like I said the other night, Jack, with Tom, the level you're at now, mate, is if you ain't in 100%, you could get fucking seriously hurt.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Go out, smash some African up in November, not being embraced there. You know, these shit ones that come across, and we will walk away and happily ever after. But so I've got one more for you, Tommy. What's your realistic expectation of where you want to get to? If someone said to you now, you retire, pick which belt you win, be realistic, what is it?
I said before I started, I'm settling for British title minimum. Is British title. I believe I will win a Southern area within the next, maybe end of next year, early 2024. Obviously, I want to go the traditional route, but if things come up, then I've got to take opportunities. But yeah, I've got to get my fight next month out, because I've got, like you see, some of these journeymen are tough, especially like some of the ones I've got coming up. Lee Hallett, he's a tough fighter, so I'm taking one fight as it comes. But obviously, I want to be 3-0 by the end of this year, then hopefully have four fights next year, and then see where I'm going. I don't want to be one of these fighters who have 15 fights and beat everyone who's got 20 losses and 5 wins and stuff like that. I want to get in the mix. Obviously, I ain't going to say anything now, but, you know, as a fighter yourself, Jack, you know, you look at people and think, I'd like to fight or later.
Yeah,
so I will, but I like the look of, but obviously I'll build myself and put myself first before I start calling people out.
Mate, just doing me, you would, and be like 0-1 at the time and call out Sonny Edwards. That's what I did.
It's funny you said that about Lee Hallett, mate. I respect you for taking that in your second fight, because Lee's one of them fighters, mate. If he senses that someone's got people there, he will rough him up. You know, he goes on these telly shows. He obviously beat Harley Ben, his only win. But even you said, you know, his last few fights he's won, but don't get it. So just respect to you for taking that. Obviously, I look after Lee, and he's a nice guy, and I'm sure he'll play the game with you. But if he don't, you know how it could be.
I watched him twice. Obviously, he fought on my show, the show that I was on. I didn't watch that fight, but I watched him twice before that. And honestly, one of the shows, I don't know whose card it was. It was a Goodwin show, but the whole row that I was sitting on York Hall, I was on the balcony. He won every round. He was fucking up the geezer. He was landing good shots. He was rarely getting. And when the decision got announced, 40-36 the other way, I think everyone let off the same sound. And I said, but this is before I knew I thought I was fighting him. I shook his hand after. I said, "Oh, unlucky, mate. I thought you won that." And he said, "It is where it is." So obviously, he's not used to. He's not used to disappointments. Because, like you say, if everything was judged fairly, his record probably would be a lot different from what it is. And
popular boy.
If he turns up on a night and thinks I want to give it a go, he probably will make it really hard for me. But like I said, I'm confident in my abilities. I do think, I know I ain't had a big amateur career, and I ain't back. Obviously, I've got a good backing, but I ain't backed by Eddie Hearn and all the likes of them lot. But I do think I'm a diamond in the dirt. Like I said, I don't want people can judge me off my debut. I know people say I had a good performance, but I know that is not even 100% of me. That is 30% at best. Obviously, the nerves were getting to me. I just wanted to look good. But me and Al are working on a few things. Obviously, it's my first fight. As I get on, as I fight people like Lee, I'm going to learn new tricks and get better and better. And like you said, it's for me to take it in my second fight. I know people having 10, 15 fights and struggling with him. I had a few other names thrown in the hat, but when they said this one was most likely, I said it is where it is. I have to fight someone like that sooner or later. So might as well get it out the way now and prove a point. Obviously, he don't get stopped much. And I've always said I'm not going to ever look for a stoppage. If it comes, it comes. But I'm just looking out to go out, and hopefully he does come and give it a go. Like he's never in a boring fight where he gives it a go, throws his hand. And that's what I want. I don't want to chase someone around the ring for 4, 5, 6 rounds and just throw punches at will. I want someone who's going to make me stay switched on and chuck the odd couple punches back, make me move my head in that. So, and that's like I said with Lee Devine in my first fight. For the first minute and a half of the fight, I honestly didn't know what I was doing. I was thinking I've trained for 8 weeks and I I don't know what punches to throw until he caught me a big right hand, and it sort of woke me up. And I thought, I know where I am now. So I feel like I know everyone says it's cliche. The better the opponent, the better I am. I just need someone that's gonna try rough me up and try actually land punches on me to stay switched on. Because if we're just gonna go like that and move around the whole fight, I'm just gonna get bored and tired and lazy. Not tired, but like I'll be lackluster. So I need someone that's gonna sort of light a fire underneath my ass and make me work for it. But yeah,
mate, I wish you all the best of luck. We'll be there. Yeah, mate, that's it from me, Jack. Good luck, Tommy, mate.
Yeah, Tommy, do you have anything else you want to add? Anyone you want to thank?
I just want to thank obviously my dad and thank both of you for putting me on the show and getting me a bit.
Thank you for coming on.
I would put one of your shirts on, Carl, but they was all on the night of the fight, and no one knows where they are now. I think some of them have alcohol stains on them, so
fair enough.
That's for me. Thanks, boys.
Thank you, mate. So yeah, we'll end it there, people. So thank you, and join us next week for another episode of Let the Punk Talk. Peace.
Ciao.